channel.
All right.
We're all about support here. So if everyone would like to hop over to Quentin's channel, Q's channel, we're all gonna head over there. And in the future, Q and I are gonna do more lives together, so people can see how, even though we're ex-husband and wife, we can still have a conversation.
Ooh, you screaming.
Hate. So we're gonna head over. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
She's so funny.
Subs. Oh, like you wrote me a prescription or something for the subs. I appreciate you guys. Bye. Thank you. See you guys soon. I'll wait for everyone to get back down and then I'm gonna. Thank you.
Welcome
God
in.
bless. Thank you, old piano. All right, Ruby, I'll see you over there. Good night, everyone.
Whoa.
Responsibility for accountability for my actions. He doesn't even.
Boom. There we go. Hey, Lily, how are you? Welcome in. I saw you on Liz's live, being the amazing person that you are. We're super proud of you. Look at this. You know Josiah's back per usual. He's on the channel. Today we are doing I'm doing great actually. I'm doing fantastic. It's rainy over here in San Diego, but you know, we going to make it do what it do. And I decided to have thank you so much, Lily. You're our biggest fan and we're proud of you. I also love going over to your channel. So when you go live next time, let me know. Also, I decided to do this particular live because I wanted to talk to people. I want to talk to people about. Say hey to Lily, Josiah. Say hi. Say hi to Lily. Say hi, Lily. Say hi, Lily. He's being as rambunctious as usual. But yeah, I wanted to go on live because I wanted to check in with everybody. I feel like the world they don't have a lot of empathy. They don't have a lot of people who care enough to, you know, check in with people. That's what the world is actually missing. We're missing a whole bunch of empathy, checking in with each other. I'm from a small town. We always say hi to our neighbors. We always say, you know, good morning, how are you doing? And I just want to see how everyone in the chat is doing. I want to see how was your day? What you guys go through? Is there anything that's on your mind you want to talk about? I can tell you a little bit about my day. Oh, hello, Jake. How are you, my friend? But yeah, like my day was crazy. I work in oncology. Hey Liz, for those of you who don't know, I've been working in healthcare for a very long time. I run 5 oncology clinics in San Diego. Oncology it's a type of profession that it's not for the faint of heart. Your patients come with dire prognosis, and then you work your behind off to try to save them. Sometimes you're successful, sometimes you're not. So it's the nature of the beast, and you learn, you see what hope looks like. We all talk about hope, and I hope my day goes well. But when your life is literally on the line, you actually get to see what hope actually looks like. And when these people are told that they have a certain amount of time left on the planet, you get to see people in their truest form. They fight as hard as they can. It is an amazing thing. But I definitely hope all you guys are doing well. Just tell me a little bit about your day, what you've been going through. And all those guys who came over from Liz's channel, I appreciate it. Liz is amazing. She was like a great wife. We have our paths diverged naturally, nothing crazy, but she's an amazing person, funny, hilarious, as you guys know. And thank you guys for supporting her, because she's worth supporting. She always had the personality for something like social media, and she knows this. She's funny. She has a lot of talent. So I'm glad you guys popped over from her channel or went to her channel and supported her, because she really is pretty awesome. But I would like to talk today, and I was talking about this earlier on my actual video. I was talking about being a man in motion, but I like to generalize it and just talk about being in motion in general. A lot of times in life, we move without purpose. We move around. We kind of get up. We go through the same mundane tasks. You wake up. You go brush your teeth. You wash your face. You eat breakfast. You go to work. You go to the gym or do your daily tasks. Do it again. Do it over. Do it over. Do it over. And we're not really moving with purpose. We're just going through the motions. And so for me, I as I kind of grew up, I started to realize, like, man, my life is not changing. I'm doing all this stuff over and over again. I'm doing the right things, but I'm not nothing. I'm not moving the dial a little bit. So I started to really hone in on. Sorry about that. We have a little one that like to grab on the table, but so I started to hone in on my purpose. So I had to figure out, what is God or whoever you believe in. What is that telling you? And so for me, I know I do mentorship. That's one of my greatest gifts. I've been a basketball coach for 11 years. I've been I was a Navy guy. Did that for 8 years. I was with Marines for the first 4 years, and then I went to a ship. And so you learn teamwork, and the whole time I will have patients. I have friends just tell me about their lives. They'll tell me, like, hey, I'm going through this with my wife, or hey, I feel like I don't want to be here anymore. And I had an uncanny way of connecting with people. And I realized that's kind of what God wanted me to do. And so when I started to actually step in that purpose, go to school, I started to, develop skills that are necessary for that type of ability. That's when I started to see actual change. I started to, get promoted. I started to make more meaningful friends. And that's what I want all you guys to work on. I want you guys to work on finding what your purpose is. I want you to look at your life and figure out what unique gifts that God gave you. Because we all have one. We do. We all have one. It may seem like it's asinine. It may seem like it's, I have the ability to, I can look at a problem and solve it. Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure that ability is necessary in the world today. Like, if you look at certain, like, people's lives are actually problems. As you all know, our life is actually problems. And if you have the ability to see the core value of that problem, or that core peak of that problem, it can go a long ways. And so for me, I learned to tap into that ability, tap into my purpose, and that goes more than just your own personal life. It goes with dating too. Like Liz and I talked about on our last live. We were talking about how a person should date with purpose, date with intention. You shouldn't just get into a relationship just because you don't want to be alone. Calm down. Just because you don't want to be alone. And I tell people all the time, like, just if you're gonna have somebody in your life, make sure that person is someone you actually want in your life, someone that actually brings value to you. Like, we all have our preferences. Lord knows the world has preferences, but your preference needs to align with your values at the same time. So you want the money, but money does not buy happiness. Let me tell you, it does not buy happiness. You see people who make millions of dollars and they'll take themselves out. You have someone like J-Lo, millions of dollars, beautiful, like conventionally attractive, and yet she always seems to be alone. Because at the end of the day, if you don't work on the internal things, if you don't work on the internal part of yourself, I promise you, nothing in your life will actually work. And so for me, I'm really big on self-development. I'm really big on building a community. To me, building a community was big. Like, growing up in the South, in Georgia to be exact, we built it was all about community. It was all about trying to find like that niche of people that care about you. Like Liz is building an amazing community of people who like and care about her. That, like, having someone in your life that likes you for you, I'd rather have two people that like me for me and care about me for me than to have 100 people who just want to hang around. Because sometimes people hang around just see your failure, and sometimes people real close to you, you don't realize it. And to identify it, it's very simple. Whenever you're in trouble, if that person seems to dip out when things go when things go bad. That's a user. That's how you identify your users. When things go bad or you need them, they dip out. User. If a person seems to come around and always brings trouble with them, that is the person that you need to be wary of, because that person brings trouble to your life. So you have to be real careful with people like that. And so to have your friends, so to date with purpose, to build your friendships and relationship with purpose. Like me, I will clear out house. I don't care how long I know you. Longevity does not equal a strong friendship. It really don't. It really don't. You have to be real careful about who you let in your life, because remember, it was Brutus who stabbed Caesar in the back. No, you're not getting the phone. You're not getting it. So if you don't have any kids, this is what it looks like when you have a 1-year-old. And Liz know about this because Jordan was the same way. They want to be famous too. So, but yeah, so my thing is, be careful. They say keep your friends close, your enemies closer. It's the other way around sometimes. Your enemies, you know who they are. we know who don't like us, who don't support us. It's those friends that masquerade as the people who like you, that be setting you up for failure. It's almost always that way. You think you tell them about yourself, you tell them about your deepest desires, your pains, and next thing you know, that person is weaponized that against you. Even your partners. So my thing is be very come on. Again. But that's another thing too. Your partner, who you have in your life, your significant other, that person should be supporting you. That person should be your biggest fan. But if all they do is talk about your faults, they demean you, undermine you, all that good stuff, then that might not be your person. And again, you can waste a lot of years with somebody who is not for you. Just because they want to be around you, just because they want you in their life, doesn't mean they're good for you. They can very much be, quote unquote, the enemy. I think about it like this. Everybody in life is like a flame. How does a flame grow stronger? You throw wood into it, oxygen, right? Oxygen plus something that's flammable. It makes it bigger. If you have a bunch of people around you and they're constantly suffocating you, they're not providing that oxygen, there's suffocation, lack of oxygen. They come around you, they suffocate you, that flame gets small, and then it kind of goes away. It's snuffed out. And that's how some people are. Some people want to snuff out your flame to make their flame seem brighter by contrast. And you have to be real careful with people like that. You have to really, really be like purposeful and awareness. The reason why a lot of people find themselves in really bad situations because they lack the proper awareness. They look at the superficial version of people. I always tell my sons, all of them, Jordan, Josiah, Keanu, look for the story behind the story. There's always a story that's not being told to you. And that's my biggest advice to anybody. Look for the story behind the story. A person comes to you with a problem. First, I look at the genesis of that problem. Is that person telling me the truth? If they are telling me the truth, I try to help them solve the problem. Because you have those people that come to you and say, oh my God, these people are the problem. These people are the issue. Over and over, you see that person who's perpetually single all the time, your homegirl, homeboy, always single, but it's always the other person's fault. Why are they single? I always tell them, let's look at your life. Let's go ahead and unpeel and figure out if there's something that's going on with you. When I made my video today, someone was in my comments and they said, I told them the 3 pitfalls that men face is ego, anger, and validation. When you seek validation, you're always a slave for people's opinions. A person who seeks validation will never ever be an autonomous person. They will always be at the behest of someone else. You see the YouTubers, you see TikTokers, they'll do anything to stay in that limelight. They want to be validated. So validation comes within first. First, you have to be loved. You have to feel love, and you have to be comfortable with yourself. Once you're comfortable with yourself, once you have that self-validation, all the other validation just adds to it. It's like a main course and some sides. The self-validation is the main course. The validation from other people is like the sides. A nice steak is delicious. A nice steak with mashed potatoes is even more delicious. But still, the main course is that steak. If you gave me some sides and there's no main course, we got a problem. So I tell people all the time, work on that main course. You're the main course. Anything else in your life is sides and add-ons. So you have to work on that first. Then the ego part. A lot of people suffer from ego. Men are pretty bad at it too, but the thing, and that's why I tell people that's one of the great pitfalls. You have that ego, it tells you don't need no one's help. All your success is because of your own work, and you completely sidestep people who have helped you along the way. It's okay to have that. It's okay to be confident, but confident and ego are two different things. So I tell people all the time, have a healthy ego, but also be open to listening to other people, be opening to everybody else's suggestions, because they can see things that you can't. When you live your own life, you're myopic, right? When you live your own life, it's just you. In your mind, you do everything right. But you having those friends that are not yes men and women around you telling you, hey, how you speak to people, it's messed up. Hey, Takoya, how are you? But yes, definitely, like when you have people around you that are willing to tell you the truth, that's worth more than gold. Because some people will let you walk around like a fool the entire time, your whole life. How you think we got those people who used to go on American Idol thinking they can sing? All because everybody in their life told them, girl, you can sing, or you can sing so well. No, tell the freaking truth. I have a healthy ego. You can tell me something about myself and I won't take offense to it, especially when I'm working on myself. So ego is a pitfall. Seeking validation without having self-validation is a pitfall. And anger, emotional control is very important. I don't care who you are, male or female, having that emotional control is important. Why? Because emotional control, if you don't have a self-emotional control, that means someone else can control you. It makes you a puppet. If I can trigger your anger, if I can trigger your depression and your letdown, I'm telling you, if I say any of that, if I can trigger any of your emotion, that means I can control you. I can make you feel the way I want you to feel. Isn't it a statement you hear a lot? You hear people say, "You made me feel low. You made me upset." And though they may have done actions that can trigger that anger or that upsetness, you choose how you react. Learning emotional control allows you to take a step back, breathe it in, and say, you know what? Yes, you did something that offended me. Yes, you did something that bothered me. But I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of messing up my life. And that's why it's super important to have emotional control. If you can master emotional control, if you can master your ego, and you can master like that need for validation, your life, you have taken the next step towards self-actualization. There's things in our life that we must like gain control of in order for us to get to that next level. And most people miss out on that because they fall victim to one of those three things. Another thing is like, so back to validation, right? You don't need someone to tell you that you're great. You don't need someone to tell you that you're pretty, that you're intelligent, and all that good stuff. How I see validation is, if I keep doing the work, eventually people won't be able to deny my work. They won't be able to deny my greatness. Look at Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan, when he was playing basketball, right? Or even LeBron James, eventually people, he still have haters. Michael Jordan had haters. Anyone who has been great had people who want to hate for hating's sake, or they just like somebody else in return. But those people, they kept working on their craft to the point where you couldn't deny that they were good. If you are a person who's simply just doing things for other people's approval, then you're not really doing that thing out of the kindness of your own heart or the goodness of your own heart. You're just moving around. You're just doing stuff. If I want to donate to charity, but every single time I donate to charity, I pop on this camera and I'm like, oh my God, look at me, I'm buying this. Then I'm not doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I'm doing it for the validation of other people, for people to see me as a good person. You know, the fun thing about being a good person is you don't have to say it in order to be it. It exudes itself. A person who's intelligent doesn't have to say $1 million words. Their actions, what they do, proves it to them. So if you are a good person, if you are a kind person, if you're a person of value, you don't have to say it. You don't have to be braggadocious. You just simply have to do it. That's it. That's it. We have so many people masquerading as good people. That's why we have people in bad relationships, because they masquerade. They fall into the wrong crowd with the wrong people, and people assume that, oh my God, like this is a good person, all because they looked at the so-called superficial actions they were doing. No, I like to see the story behind the story. Show me who you are off camera. Show me who you are when you're upset, because that's the true you. When things don't go your way, that's the true you. Where's your bottle? Where's your BB, huh? Where's your BB? But yeah, that's my whole thing. That's the true you. The true you is when you're down bad and you're still able to get up and do those good things you've been doing the whole time. When you had your last dime and you choose to help people out, even though you yourself need help, those people are the good people. They don't brag about it. Like, I know y'all probably heard that story of that lady who had that angel tree, and now the whole internet is like, bashing her. They're like, you fell down. They're bashing her because she picked up an angel tree. She got the list, and she didn't, she, I guess, told the little girl that, I don't want to get what's on the list. I'm gonna get this because it's cheaper. And everyone's just like tearing her apart. And my whole thing is, first of all, why did you film that? Why do we have to film every single thing we do? Like, you open yourself to criticism. When I go live, Liz go live, or anybody goes live, we open ourselves up to criticism. And it could be good, positive criticism, or negative criticism. But we choose to let people into our lives. Like, people can talk about me. I've grown past the ability to care, especially if it's not constructive. So, but for me, if I get online, I expect to be criticized or to be critiqued. People gonna look at me and say, "Is he about it? Does he live the things he say he does?" And Liz can tell you, that's my ex-wife. Go to her channel. She's a great person. She can tell you what I say I do. I do. I don't walk around and pretend like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be this way in front of people and this way without it. No, you get the same Quentin at work, the same Quentin at home, the same Quentin with my friends. I'm a caring, loving person, but I also hold you to the same standards I hold myself. And that's how I want you guys to move. I want you guys to have those same values that you hold upon yourself, extend it out to everybody else. Liz don't like liars, so why the hell would she lie? My thing is, you have to hold people to the same standards. Stop letting people get away. The funny thing about it is, for all of us born in the 80s and beyond, our parents had a tendency to make us grow up faster, right? They call it adultification. We had to watch our siblings, clean the house, cook the food, do all this stuff. We say, baby should be in bed right now. Nah, he never goes to sleep like that. I wish. Because his mom works weird hours and I have to take her to work. So he's always up around in about an hour or so. He gonna wind down. What I was saying, I think, yeah. So basically, people you have to hold people to the same standard you hold yourself to. Liz don't like liars, so why would she allow people to lie? I'm the same person no matter where I'm at. I hold people to the same standard because I know what kind of friend I am. I'm the kind of person that if I will give you a shove my back if it's going to help you. I expect the same thing in return. Some of you guys, y'all overextend. I had an episode about overextending. We have a tendency to give too much to people who haven't earned it. That happens so much in life. People will, they'll meet a person, a friend, or significant other, and they'll give everything to that person. Oh, I love you so much. Oh my God, this. Oh, I sacrificed everything to them, and all that person had to do was wake up. That's why you see those unbalanced relationships where when they break up eventually, because almost always it ends in divorce or they break up, they feel slighted because they gave 95% or 100%, and that person gave 2-3%. And it's all because you didn't hold that person to that same standard. You allowed them to get away. But back to what I was saying about making it like raising kids too quickly. One thing that me, Liz, and me and Evelyn, that's Josiah's mom, we decided to do is to let our kids be kids. Our parents make us grow up too fast, and therefore we grow up with this mentality of always being serious and all that good stuff. Then you have with adults, we infantilize them. We make them like infants. We like, oh, that grown man. Some of you women in here, y'all let these grown men get away with so much stuff. They get away with so much, like they're half-assing it. I'm just gonna be blunt. They come in a menial job, and I'm talking blue collar job. I'm talking about a menial part-time this. Oh yeah, I'm a part-time rapper, or they have no car, and you give them yourself. You say, oh man, he's trying. Well, if he's 40 years old, he's still trying to get a job. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. So my thing is, I hold people to the same standard. I expect a certain level of maturity per 5 years. Per 5 years of age. So 20 to 25, that's a level of maturity. 25 to 30, that's a level of maturity. 30 to 35, that's a level of maturity. A 45-year-old man should not be acting like a 25-year-old man. A 30-year-old woman should not be acting like a 20-year-old woman. There should be a level of maturity there. You should be learning and gaining from your experience. If you're not learning from your experience, then you're truly not you're not grasping what life is about. Progress doesn't just happen. Progress doesn't just happen. It's purposeful. This baby is so funny. He's changing the channels. But yeah, your progress doesn't just happen. You have to make it work. Success doesn't just happen. A great relationship doesn't just happen. On Liz's channel earlier, she was talking about communication being the key. That is 100% true. They say men are direct communicators and females are indirect communicators. But we have to be communicators in general. If you don't like something, speak up. If you are unhappy, speak up. No one's a mind reader. No one is anyone's slave. So tell people, hey, babe, when you do this, it hurts me. Hey, babe, when you don't do this, it bothers me. That's how you build a strong relationship. Whenever I talk to couples who've been together 40 and 50 years, they always say the same thing. It was communication that kept them together. Think about your job. If you want to raise, how would you get it? Most companies will not give you a raise if you don't ask for it. And when you ask for it, they'll look at your works. They'll look at the totality of your work, and they'll say yay or nay. That's how a relationship is, and that's why. And Liz can tell you because she went through this. That's how I approach relationships. You start off ground zero. Every time we communicate, and I evaluate your work. I give you a little bit more of my heart. You do not get my total heart and my total loyalty right off the bat. I have to see what you're about. Don't mean I'm gonna run around and cheat on you, no. But I want to see what you're about. I want to see how you behave. Because if I'm gonna give you my heart, and we're gonna be together for a long time, I expect you to respect me, and I'm gonna give you the same respect. I expect you to make some concessions and to actually value what I bring, because I'm gonna value what you bring. And that's why, Liz, if you're still in here, I'm rooting for Liz to find that amazing man for her, because she deserves an amazing person, because she's an amazing person. Just like our friend Lily is an amazing person. We all deserve to be happy in our life, right? Even though happiness is a temporary state, contentness that's the main state you should be on. Like it's like you're content, you get happy, you get sad, you're content. So content is that standard. That's the mean. And then happiness and depression, all that good stuff, those are small little spikes. You're supposed to like find someone in your life that understands you, that walk in lockstep with you. That's what you want. That's what you need. Be mindful, be purposeful. But that's my message of the day. I want to know how you guys, how was your day? How was your day? What did you do? Liz, how was your day? How was your clients? For people who don't know, Liz is a world-renowned massage therapist. She's a woman of many talents. Our friend Lily is a great chef. And so how's you guys' day? How, what's going on in your life? Is there an issue that you may have been contemplating or you need help with that maybe I can help you with? Because I have been through a lot. From I was kidnapped as a kid. I watched my family, burn in a house fire growing up. I was kidnapped at 7. I went through abuse from 10 to 13 years old. A lot of stuff. I've been through a whole bunch of stuff that God has carried me through and made me more resilient because of it. So you'll be surprised what the amount of knowledge I accumulated. So definitely just tell me how was your day? You want to see what this little red is doing? Check this out. Overwhelming. Yeah, that happens sometime, Lily, for sure. Life can be very overwhelming. My philosophy, what I usually do though, I look at my problems. I look at from in terms of high impact to low impact, and from there I kind of figure out what my solutions are. And I know you. It might be personal, so I won't get too much in your business. But when I look at every problem and say what is the impact of that problem? How much will it actually shake up my life? And if it's a huge problem, that's what I put my energy into. If that problem is attached to another person, I'm open to communicating with that person. But we'll leave it at that for now. But yeah, most problems can be broken down to that common denominator. Like my older son, he always asks, how do I save money? Because he wants to invest. And I tell him, first of all, what are you spending your money on? You have to budget. Like me, I tell people there's 2 things in life you should budget: your time and your money. Your time you can't get back. So anybody who you give time to, no matter who it is, that person needs to be worth it. Our job takes up 8 hours of our life typically. And then we have family that takes up a significant portion of our life. So anybody outside of our job and our life we need to really, really invest that time in that. Now you sleepy. But yeah, no, I'm trying to go to sleep. But yeah, definitely. So I want you to be mindful and invest your time wisely, invest your money wisely. That's why I tell him. And then so anything else is what it is. So all my non-parents, this what if all my people who have never had a kid, this is what you'll have to deal with as you grow up. But you got this, Lily. We got you're our family here. We love you, and we definitely got your back, no matter what. Anybody in here, if you ever need to chat, just hit me up. Like my on my YouTube channel, come in on any of my videos, or you can go to my I have my own email. It's called Life and Legacy Network at gmail.com. It's definitely, or you can hit me up on my TikTok, which is Life and Legacy Network. So at Life and Legacy Network, all one word, or my Instagram, same thing, Life _ and Legacy _ Network. But just hit me up and we can talk about some stuff. Like definitely, I'm open to a lot of stuff. Liz has a lot of advice too, so definitely check out her channel. She's awesome. She's awesome. But yeah, definitely check out her channel. She has a lot of advice too. She's been through a lot of stuff, overcame a lot of stuff, and she's still growing. Oh my God, she's still growing as a person, and she's getting wiser and stronger every day, as we all are. Do not let a trip or a hiccup prevent you from moving forward. That's the thing about being in motion. When you're moving forward, you're gonna trip. It's like a baby. Like he's a baby. He started to walk like maybe 3 months ago. So my thing is, when you first start to walk, what happens? You stumble, you trip, you do all of that stuff, and then what happens? You get your balance. You start to walk a little bit better. You start to gain that experience. You realize that, hey, I have to get my balance. I have to walk. I have to walk on this treacherous road, and you get better and better. And then next thing you know, you're running, and you're jumping, and then those things that were once hard, it's not hard anymore. Think about everything in your life. You started off one way, it was difficult. Then you learn how to do it. It became easy. Swimming. You start out, you can't even tread water. And then now you swim, it becomes easier. That's everything in life. And so that's how life works. So you start off, everything start off hard, and over time it becomes easier and easier. Do not give up. Whatever your dream is, you're never too old. I hate when people say that. I mean, let's try to go to the NBA, then it's a wrap. But outside of that, so what's the topic? Oh, so we were just talking about just not giving up and how to move with purpose. We talked about various things, actually. We talked about the 3 pitfalls that prevents a person from progressing, which was anger, ego, and validation. Those 3 things can actually prevent you from becoming a person in motion, because validation prevents a person from moving forward, because you always seek someone else's opinion, so you can never you never find out who you are. Your ego, it kind of wipes out all your relationships, because you start to see yourself as greater than. So you say, oh, I don't need anyone's help, and then you realize, and as you start to progress in life, you realize that, whoa, I actually do need someone, because if I start off at a company, unless someone sees value in me, I'm not going to progress any further than that. So ego does that. And then anger, of course, we all know what anger does. When you get angry, you can destroy anything. You speak without thinking. You can physically hurt someone, and all those things can set you back. So anger equals emotional control. So if you learn how to control your emotion, realize that it's okay to be confident, but also be open to help from others. And then you have that self-validation first. Once you believe in yourself, once you realize that you can go forward, then those outside validations just add to that reserve of self-validation. So that's what we were talking about initially. And then I was asking everyone kind of how the day was, what's going on. Oh yeah, exactly, 100%. No man is designed to walk alone. We know through studies that people that being isolated in prison, or how they used to do to the prisoners of war, they will isolate them, and we'll see shrinkage in the frontal lobe. It will kind of start to degrade, because people are social creatures by nature. We all need someone. I don't care if it's just one person. We all need someone. And the people who think they need to go through life alone, or they don't want anybody around them because they don't trust anyone, they tend to be miserable. I've never seen a happy loner in my entire life. I know there are people who enjoy the solitude. Every now and then, even I love a little peace. I have a 1-year-old that's right there, and sometimes when he's asleep, I'm like, thank you, God. And so it's small things like that. So we all deserve a little peace and quiet. But to think that you can do this thing called life by yourself, it's crazy. You weren't even born by yourself. Your parents had to come together to create you. And if you have kids, you have to come together with someone else to create another living being. So to think that you have to walk through life alone, nah. It's not. Oh yeah, we're here for you too, Lily. We love you. You our girl. You big moderator over here. But definitely. And then I was talking about how like my channel is mostly for men, and how men should move through life. How kind of trying to combat that toxic masculinity. And I told people that toxic masculinity was created by society. Actually, believe it or not, we made it. We made it that way. Growing up being an 80s baby, growing up being told boys don't cry, all this good stuff, that led to toxic masculinity. If you tell a boy not to cry, not to be in tune with his emotions, what happens naturally? What happens naturally? You eventually suppress your emotions, and then people say, oh my God, you'll never share anything with me. Oh, I got you, Liz. Don't even worry about it. Here you go right now. I'll make you a mod. There you go. You're moderate. So yeah, so definitely. So we made the monsters that we now call toxic males. We really did. And so we have to undo it, and it's up to men to undo it. So now I try to teach my sons, hey kids, that you can cry, but don't continue crying. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be angry, but be smart with your actions. Don't just act on the emotion. We are all family through our Father Almighty God. will always help someone. 100%. Amen. I'm a son of an evangelist and a grandson of a preacher. So I definitely understand that, and that's why I do what I do. I don't care about having 10,000 subscribers or any of that stuff. I just want to get my message across because that's what God put on my heart. Like I've always helped people in need. There's people who I would never disclose. I don't help people pay rent. I don't help people get food. I've driven in the rain midnight just to talk to someone who was on the verge of unaliving themselves. That's just the kind of person I am, and I feel like that's what we lost. I don't know if you guys been feeling this thing where Christmas don't feel like Christmas and the holidays feel hollow, and I think that's because people don't channel the right things anymore. Christmas was about family, love, just God, family, love, just all that good, happy, feel good stuff. Now, people get online. Oh, look what I got! I got a Gucci bag. Oh, look what I got! Hey, and it just changed everything. Like everything must be like it has to blow up. It has to be put online. It has to be you have to brag. You have to have the next best thing, and people are never satisfied, right? I mean, in 2 Timothy, talk about people being lover of the flesh, lover of materials, and in these last evil days. And it's funny because it's starting to be like that. Now everything is everything's debaucherous. Everything is, it's all about how people feel. It's all about how you feel. And life is not all about just your feelings. I can feel one way one day and then feel some way completely different the next day. Oh, 100%. Love the creator, not the creation. Yeah, I mean, and that's how it is. Like me, social media was, most of us in here, I'm pretty sure, are older than probably 30 years old, at least. And so when social media first created, it was a great thing. It was a way to communicate with people across the country, across the world. And it had good intentions. Now, what I've seen is that people will go online, they'll see people with a lot of money, a lot of things, and they'll feel bad about what they have. They'll have a house, but they'll see a bigger house, and now they want that. They'll have a loving partner, but he don't have the six pack that Deja's husband has, or she don't have the body that Sam's wife have. And now you're looking at your wife and your husband side eye like, oh, why can't you be like them? I remember when this relationship goals thing was popping out. Everyone was like, oh my God, they went to Bali, they went to Hawaii. Why can't we? Because we broke. We can have Hawaii in the house. If I do what I can do. Oh, 28. Oh, wow, he's young. So yeah, you're a youngin', but still, like that. I'm just giving you. That's how things were. Like social media was never like this, as widespread and crazy as it is now. It used to be, way more tamed. Now it's out of control because everyone is all about that viral moment. People do things that are outside their character. They play pranks. They touch other people's food. They steal and they brag about it. They cheat. It's so much stuff that goes on because on social media, all because people want to feel, again, they want to feel validated. They don't care if it's bad publicity. As long as people are talking about them, they feel a sense of pride. And that's something that we have to, what's that? Okay, I'm sorry. Where's that at? You missed the question about Rick Simpson oil for cancer. Let me see. Let me find that question. Oh, here we go. Do you allow patients to use Rick Simpson oil to cure cancer? I don't. I have to look that up. Jake, if you're still in here, I have to look that up. I know some of our providers do holistic medicine rather than conventional medicine. They kind of go with whatever the patient is comfortable with. If they research something, the doctors will research it, and then they will either say yay or nay. So we don't just do chemotherapies and injections. We also they look at a holistic approach as well. So I can figure out. It shouldn't take me long. I'm an administrator. I can just go in and look. But I have to write that down on my other phone. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab a pen so I can write it down. All right. Let me see. We said Rick Simpson. Oh, let me see. Let's see what this is. Okay. I have to look into this. I haven't seen. I know something about patients. They'll write in. They'll ask about certain remedies. Like some people use mushrooms like some type of like mushrooms that have been kind of trending. But I have to look into the Rick Simpson oil. I'm not really sure. But yeah, we have a holistic approach. I think a lot of doctors are starting to realize that sometimes the cure or something that can alleviate the pain comes from nature. You know, some of the greatest things we have come from nature, and just putting all these human-made chemicals into your body can actually make things worse. Like chemotherapy is such a toxic thing. Like it's ridiculous. But right now that's the only thing. Well, that's the only thing that they say can help and extend your life. But hopefully in the future we'll have a better, more holistic approach to saving people's lives, because that is important. I think cancer is something that is always on the precipice of everybody's life. If you live long enough, somewhere along the way, cancer gonna be there. It's just the nature of the beast. Whether it's skin cancer, colon cancer, melanomas, like it's just so many. Prostate cancer, just so many things that we kind of have to avoid in life. That's why it doesn't behoove us to get hung up on the small things. That's why family and it's so important. Friends are so important. Oh, thank you, Liz. But yeah, that's why it's good that it's good to take those small moments. Like, yeah, she is Google. She knows a lot of stuff, especially when it comes down to like holistic things. She's really good at that stuff. But yeah, those small moments you have with your family, cherish that stuff. Cherish it, because you never know what days will last. Like me, I always take the small time to like, man, I'm a father. It is the most important job I have. Not a varsity basketball coach, not a clinic administrator, not even a husband or a friend. It's being a father. I'm not immortal. I can't travel. I can't time travel. But what I can do is pass on knowledge, pass on the proper way to live this life to my kids, and that right there can go into the future. Josiah will outlast me. I'll reach my peak. Most men, they're out here about 70 years old, 77 years old, and then he has his 70 years to live. So now I've extended myself into the future because the lessons I taught him. My thing is, you always there's a lesson in everything we do. Every failure, I don't see things as wins and losses. I really don't. Whenever I lose or I fail, it's a learning moment. It's a teachable moment for me. I have to ask myself why I failed, why I lost. It's like as a coach, when we lose a game, we look at what did the other team do right, what do we do wrong, and because we can't control the other team, we can control what we do. And so for me, I know my damn fingers, but yeah, my thing. So for me, I definitely look at my ups and downs. What did I do to mess up? Even when me and Liz got divorced, when her and I got divorced, the first thing I said is, man, I tell anytime I see my son and get reminded that I'm a father, I don't mean I forgot, but seeing that's true. That's true, Bean. That is true. When you see your kid, you don't forget. You don't even take it for granted. But when you see your kid, sometimes like it's those small little quiet moments. Like you'll be sitting down. Like sometimes I'll be laying down on the couch, and I'll see him like he is right now. Like he's literally playing with like a turmeric, like old turmeric seasoning can, and he's just enjoying himself. And you see how pure life is to him. A baby can take a box, and that box can be an apartment building. It can be an airplane, and somewhere along the way we lose that sense of wonder. And to see that again in our kid, it's kind of we get a second chance at being a kid. We get a second chance of forgetting about the bill is due this day, or I have to work in like 4 or 5 hours. And it's something about it, man. That's why I do not take it for granted, and I don't forgive any man who willingly leave his family, who creates a child and then walks away. To me, he's not even a man. It's one thing if there's some issues and the mom's keeping him away from the kid or something like that. It's a whole other thing when you make a child and you say, well, too bad, so sad, I don't want to be there, and you dip out. You're creating broken homes. They say hurt people. Well, broken people create broken people. An incomplete child, and a boy does need his father. I don't care what anyone say. My mother, when my dad left left our family, my parents were married for years. Still are. They still are married. They still is married. Sorry, they still are married. And my dad left in the year 2000. When he left my life, it created a deficit in my heart because though my mom did the best she could, I still had to look for that male role model to teach me how to live my life as a man. Because again, I become a husband. I don't become a wife. My mom can show me some things, but she can't show me everything. I can't emulate everything she does. It was my dad's job. And so when I went to the military, I ended up finding male role models that I looked up to that helped me on this journey to being a man. So when a man leaves their son's life, you're essentially taking half of him with you. And now that kid has to find something else to pour into himself to complete himself. And that can be good or bad. That can be a good or bad thing. Yeah, but it can be a good or bad thing. If he finds the right person, no harm, no foul. Still, I would rather it be the actual father. But if a person steps in and can take that role, then more power to him. But if he finds the wrong person, the wrong crowd, then you get these quote so-called YNs and bad boys, and now you have to undo that stuff. Takes so much work because now you have to reverse what everybody has put into him. The Bible say what? Train up a child in the way that he should go. So when he is old, he will not depart from it. So if you train up a child the right way, no matter how bad things get, no matter how much they stray, they will always regress back to the mean, that goodness. But if you train a child to be bad, why are you surprised that they are bad? No one starts off evil. No one starts off broken. Life and circumstances make people that way. Which is why I don't believe in giving up on folks. Which is why when I see a person who's down, a person who's going through something, I always stop and ask, how are you? I don't have to know you. We're all one family. We're the human race. So I'll ask, how are you? What's going on? What led you to feel this way? Come talk to me. To me, that is extremely important. To go and try your best to make someone's life is better. Because sometimes all it takes is one person, one single person to say, "Are you okay?" For that floodgate to break and you to say, someone cared. There was an old story about a guy that's on the bridge and he was thinking about jumping off, ending it all. And someone, in his mind, he said, if no one says anything to me, it's over. But ironically, someone said, hey man, how are you doing? He broke down, told that man, like, you saved my life and this is why. That's what it takes. That story stuck with me my entire life. And I told myself, whenever I see someone who's downtrodden or who has sadness in their eyes, because sometimes the mouth, it tricks people. They smile, but the eyes, that sadness, you like, you're smiling, but that's not what's going on. It's the story behind the story. And all it takes for you to actually just speak, to ask a person how they're doing, and then everything changes. And that person then goes on, because you did that to them, that gets imprinted and embedded in them to seek people out, and then they go to seek people out. And now they're checking on folks. And that's how we reclaim this thing called life. That's why that's how we get empathy back. That's how we get community back. It starts with one person. It takes one person to give a damn. That one person to give a damn. He goes on, he talks to another person. That person now cares, and they go on, and so on and so forth. And now you have a community of people that care about each other. And then people start to wonder. We know for a fact, if people start gathering around a circle, you start to be curious, like, what's going on over there? So we start creating that community, and we're helping each other out. We're loving each other. We're supporting each other. Now everyone's like, what's going on there? Why is everybody so happy over there? Now they come over, and they get infected with that community. And then that person, that circle that person was a part of, now they're getting part of the community. And now it grows and it gets bigger and bigger. It's a tidal wave. Negativity spreads, but also kindness and goodness spread too. We lose. Let's see. Selected Being said we lose the pure happiness because we're all sinners. Children are innocent in the book of Genesis. We were meant to live in the Holy Land, but we stand and we eat the forbidden fruit. After eating the fruit, yeah, true. That part was true. That is true. But the thing about it, we also can regain that sense too, because it said what for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. So my thing is, because we are sinners, it's our duty and our job to ensure to minimize how much we sin. We can't completely stop it because we're human, and humans are naturally flawed. But we can, however, minimize the amount of sin we do. And that's what God truly looks at, like accepting Him as your Lord and Savior, but also minimize your sin. Because luckily for us in our religion, we serve a forgiving God, a God that will forgive us for our iniquities, and we might get whooped. He might allow the devil to come and mess up our stuff, but He never abandons us. That's one thing I love about it. My mom always say, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning." And that's one of the things I live by. That lets me know that I might be down bad now. I might be going through something right now. But if I keep my faith, I keep the strength, and I keep the motivation, I'll eventually get out of this. Life has always been about ebb and flows. You're not going to always be on a good path. You're not going to always be on a bad path. It's ebb and flows. But the true test of your characters is how you are when you're here. When you're here, no one really cares. But when you're down here, that's when it's crazy. But definitely thank you guys for joining in. Like Lily, you're right, it's pretty late, so definitely I want you guys to thank you guys for coming in, stopping by. I'm gonna try to do like a check-in every day, or at least every other day, to see how everyone is, because you guys are now my family. So I want y'all to take care of yourself, be blessed, don't be afraid to help someone, and God bless you all.